So, dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. So, in this ongoing meditation session, we mainly try to share some basic information for yourself to develop very clear, solid spiritual foundation. So, if you look information related to your meditation and how to develop a very calm, wiser, more meaningful lifestyle, I hope you may get some information from this session. So this is every day from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. from Los Angeles time. We have this session. So you can follow us via YouTube or Facebook Live. And at the same time, we have Zoom class. Let me get connected with the other network and then we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to settle down and at the same time mentally become more clear with this path we practice. So when it comes to meditation, the very purpose of this meditation is releasing our own desires from our own mind. get out of our own habitual patterns or the methods or the believing or the following system we already build up inside us. So when it comes to that, rather than go towards something and gain, always you have to remember to release this nature from yourself is more worth for you on this journey. When you look for freedom and satisfaction, as ordinary people, we used to find it through gaining things. But you and me both knows through this life, when things go up and down, again and again, round and round, we will never catch or we will never gain or we will never find that. The deeper happiness and the satisfaction out of this conventional life. It is a moment of satisfaction. So nothing wrong with that. And but to have a very clear understanding regarding the very nature of life is very necessary. So as human being, when you experience this life, if you don't know the very meaning of that, what will happen out of that, your life, out of your experience, what will, maybe you have different hopes, different desires. So that different desires or the hopes can create any kind of turbulence inside you. So there's nothing wrong with the world. It's mostly depend on our expectations out of the world. But when it comes to the Dharma, it shows us very clearly, in detail, without missing anything, without hiding anything. It exactly shows us what is the very nature of the world. And it is not a kind of like a magic. That is the very real thing we experience. It is not a dogma. It is not any kind of idea. It is nothing to do with believing system. It's nothing to do with that, whatever the following system. It's nothing to do with that, how it's going to make us comfortable or uncomfortable or like that. Truth is truth. We are experiencing it. So meditation will allow you to go into that deeper and touch that point. Because once you have that experience, once you know that, and after that, out of your this conventional life, whatever the situation comes, you become more comfortable to go through it. That is what you need, rather than when the situation comes, be more collapsed. We go more unbalanced. We become more and more difficult within ourselves, within our own inside ideas or the intentions or the desires. So it's sometimes create a kind of like a heaviness inside us. This heaviness is not the outside world. Outside world, this each and everything on the floor and floating. But inside ourselves, these thoughts, what happens? It can create a kind of like a very solid, concrete feeling. Oh, nothing going to change. Oh, why this keep happening to me? Why I am like this? And that rumination, that kind of cud that keep coming to us, we eating that thoughts like the cow, you know, half chew that chew grasses coming back to mouth, and again and again, you know, vomiting it and eating it. That rumination, that the same cud happening inside us, that our own thoughts, if you look very carefully, you don't have any new thoughts. You don't have any kind of new vision in your life for the moment. Right now, right here, what is in your mind? whatever happened in your past. So what does that mean? You are the one who keep repeating it again and again and again. So then, if you caught up there, so by the time there is a taste going to be with you, and once you addicted to that taste, what will happen? It is very difficult to get out of it. Look at ourselves. So keep away that the thoughts. Just may simply try to understand with this outside material world. The people addicted to taste from childhood. So then what happened? All the eating, this everything. And you keep going behind it. And even that the whatever with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you have a different taste yourself. You personalize that. You hold it to believing this is me. Oh, I have this taste, that taste, like that. You identify it with the self. You validate your deeper self and hold it to that taste and believing it is only for you. And then what happened? You keep going behind it. The most dangerous part is not the food, not this or whatever the movies or the dramas, documentary, not the music you hear, not the aromas not the food you eat, not the people you associate. The most dangerous thing that the food, that the taste you addicted, it's your thoughts. So meditation should not be, this is the important, meditation should not be that kind of addiction or that kind of mental action. So the mind should, when you come to meditation, you should get out of that mental taste that you carry within yourself as thoughts. So how you can do that? So that is why we need the help out of the primary mental object. Because right now, right here, whatever is there, so you have to slowly start to hold it to that. So that's why we get the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, because it's not going to happen in the past or in the future. It right now, right here, you can experience. And you are directly available for that. You have access directly without any authorization, without any demand or the command. Right now, right here within yourself, it is there. So see how fortunate you are. Just imagine to go to a place sometimes, you have to, even meet a person sometimes, So you have to go through people, you have to go through the process. You have to wait for appointment, and maybe you have to go into the contacts, and maybe you have to go through, many difficult parts. But the most highest in life, this wisdom in front of your nose, right now, right here, it is available for you. But you have access to that, but we neglect that. No? So recognizing that will bring you back to that center. So the meditation is a method that you brush up yourself and you develop a method or the art or the skill to bring back to that deeper wisdom already within you. It's not a magic. So another thing is that when it comes to the Dharma, it's very simple. It's not complicated. Because you are the Dharma. You are the very nature. Only thing is just you need a little space to see that. So the meditation provides that space. And when you have that space, what happens? And that is where you deeply start to gain the understand or the recognize that the very nature of the world. Why you need to understand the nature of the world? Because we are in a kind of like a treadmill lifestyle. Okay, so when you are in the treadmill, what happened? You run, but you run because of the belt. So belt giving you the movement to run. Not really that you are running. If you don't run, what will happen? You know, you're going to fall down. So the belt give you kind of like the flow to run. So when it comes to our conventional life today, we have the same thing with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. This worldly desires is kind of like a treadmill for us to run this samsara, you know, keep running. So our desires giving us, it's a kind of like a belt, you know, it's giving us the energy, the flow, the, you know, rhythm to keep running, keep running, keep running. But you have to remember that you're depending from something. It's like the running depending from the treadmill belt, and you are depending from something. So when you're depending from something and keep running, what will happen? It always going to become very difficult for you. So that means that you are conditioned by something. So we may not going to see it suddenly, but and it come as a package. So that package we call 8 worldly conditions. And that is the package. It is no more than that or no less than that. It's 8 worldly conditions. There's mostly in this very conventional life, we look for that, we keep running behind it. Gain and loss, fame and infamy, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. So we depending, we moving and rolling each other, changing and jumping to one by one by one. It's related to the world. So pain, remember this, pain or pleasure, gain or lose, fame or infamy, praise or blame, this all related to outside world. You gain it from outside. That is the very conventional lifestyle. So that's mean what? That you are gain or lose this worldly condition depending from something. So if it is depending from something, it's not going to be yours. And another thing is, if it is depending from something, you cannot have hopes to it can be permanent. Just imagine, you know, even with as husband, wife, children, friends, and family members in your family, can you hope that whatever the nice, good, calm, relaxed, comfortable, happy situation going to be each and every day within other people? It's not. And maybe in the very moment you become so happy, in the very next moment the person becomes so mad. You know, in the early morning you feel kind of like an angel, in the evening you get kind of like a demon. No, maybe no need to go to the evening, sometimes afternoon, you know, the angel transformed to demon. And then by the night, again that demon can transform to angel. So that's a process. So then the very thing is, you have to looking when this 8 conditions happen to us, worldly conditions when we experience, rather than personalize it, you always have to look into that and keep in mind it happened because of somebody else. So then you have no power over it. It's like this. There is another way that you gain the happiness and satisfaction through practicing meditation, but in a very conventional life, that whatever these worldly conditions, you have no power over it. It doesn't matter the pain or the pleasure or the gain or the lose, fame or the infamy, or perish or the blame. You have no power over it. You experience, that's it. So then you have, when you experience it, you should know that. If you know that, it's not going to bring any harm to you. But the problem is this. As ordinary people, we have to understand our mindset, how we behave. It's a cult. Inside our mind, we have a cult. We can't get out of it. We build up a hierarchy within inside our mind. So if you are capable to see that, that will open a window for you to see beyond that what you think. So that's why we keep this kind of practice. And that's why the Dharma is one way give us that window to go into that. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, turbulence happens. And these worldly conditions, remember, it's like tornadoes. It's like a strong wind. It's like the flood. You have no idea. It can wash you away. So it is better you should know that. So if you are in case, in the very conventional life, if you know these 8 pillars, and then when the tornadoes hit, and you find the very safe place, and it cannot, wash you away. When the flood comes, you find your safe place, your higher ground. It cannot wash you away. So a billion years to this, and from this to billion years to the future, in anywhere in this universe, anywhere, if you name something as world, that world, whatever you mean by, have these 8 conditions. There is no a world can exist without having these 8 conditions. So that's why if you look for a samsaric journey, if you want to be ready for the samsaric journey, we don't know that where our next destination, but still, you will be more balanced, safe out of these conditions if you are capable to understand it and balance it, master it. So how you can master this? So this is the mistake that we do. When you experience the gain or the fame or the perish or the pleasure, you always think as your enemy the loss, the infamy, the blame, the pain. So when you experience, try to understand this very carefully. When you experience the gain, fame, perish, pleasure, you think the loss, infamy, blame, pain as an enemy. So you always try to avoid that, resist that, stay away from it. And another thing is that your definition regarding the gain, fame, perish, pleasure, always compare to the lose, infamy, blame, and pain. And because of that, what happened? The idea that you develop, the ideology you develop inside you, going to become more strong, more strong. It's depending the other side. It's like a counterattack. So that is the gain, fame, perish, pleasure. And other part is when you experience the lose, infamy, blame, or the pain, you think the solution is finding, holding, grasping, receiving gain, fame, perish, and pleasure. So when you experience the lose, infamy, blame, pain, you think the solution for that is gaining the opposite side. That's the very conventional, very innocent way of, the lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is this, when you go into that way, you're going to have a very hard time. And it itself going to develop the more and more and turbulence, and more and the flood or the wind or the tornado going to become more strong. As example, if you lose something, if you try to cover up that lose, gaining something, or even thinking about gaining something, not even the physical effort, that just the mental idea to gain something. Or if you try to understand your lose by comparing to gaining, what happens? Your lose going to become more stronger. Your infamy going to become more stronger. Your blame going to become so painful, hard, difficult. Your pain going to become unbearable. It destroys deeper inside your balance. So then what you should do? When you experience the gain, fame, perish, pleasure, what you should do? Rather than guarding it, resisting it from lose, infamy, blame, pain. So when you experience the lose, infamy, blame, pain, what you should do? Rather than looking for gain, fame, perish, pleasure. Because that is what we learn. And through our lifestyle, that is what we look for. That is what we know. We don't know anything else. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, very deepest part of the teaching is the 3 marks of existence. The 3 marks of existence. If you find something exist, you will find these 3 things in anything. Eons by eons backward, eons by eons forward. Even if you mean anything as world, these 3 marks going to be with that your interpretation or whatever you understand as the world. So first one is impermanent. And another way, inconsistently. It's not, continuously keep happening the same thing. So this anicca, impermanent. And dukkha is a it's a suffering, or you can mean it as an unsatisfactory nature. And the third word, anatta, non-self, selflessness. So that is the very bottom line of the Buddha's thing. Whatever belongs to the world, it has these three marks, and it belongs to these three qualities, fundamental qualities. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness. So now you have to bring these fundamental qualities and reflect on that when you experience any kind of worldly conditions. That is the done deal. That is how you get out of the suffering. That's how you get out of this turbulence mindset. That's how you find the higher land when the flood hit. That's how you find the very safe place when the strong wind comes. There's no any other way. It's simple. Don't look for that. It doesn't matter, in life, we know that. It's not that going to happen what I like or what you like. It's not going to happen in our life. We already know that. Oh, I like something, but it's not going to happen. So then you have to understand nothing wrong experiencing anything. We are the very, the result of experiencing life. We can't escape from that. But the thing is, when you experience anything, experience with the wisdom related to the worldly nature. So then it doesn't matter you have the gain or lose. Don't categorize. If you experience the gain or lose, rather than try to avoid it, looking for the opposite side, remember that it's impermanent. And it has a nature related to unsatisfaction. Why? Because as I mentioned from the beginning, that all these 8 conditions come out of the outside world, from according to the behavior of other people. So then if something depending from others, you can't claim it as it's kind of like a satisfaction. It's always, there's a gap going to be. So that gap, if you look into that gap, always it's going to mess up everything. So then another thing is the selflessness. And within the experiencer, even, there is no such a unchangeable, permanent, very concrete level of consciousness. Because our consciousness also is a kind of like a result of mental construction. That with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, perceptual mental construction is what we call our consciousness. There's nothing else. So once you know that, yourself, you are capable to handle the situation and keep the balance within yourself rather than changing according to the middle of turbulence. So that is the wisdom you need. So it is not something you have to gain something. No, you have to remember, you have to rewrite the inside, that wisdom that you have, you already have the collected as a memory. And remember, you have to slowly replace this dharma into that. And once you have it, you will see when the situation comes, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever the condition, out of eight condition, so whenever whatever you experience, you recognize it is impermanent. In that right now, right here, it's going to become release, not grasping nature, clinging nature, no resistance, even any kind of the opposite side, the bad, dark things happen, impermanent. That's it. And unsatisfactory nature, you recognize it come out of something else. It's never going to fulfill that, whatever the inside. So once you know that, you back up, you void from the situation. That is what you need. That is what the wisdom. In the middle of the situation, can you void it, back up? That is can you look for the exit window in the middle of situation? That is the wisdom. And selflessness, knowingly, the experience, the person, or your consciousness itself is not such a thing that going to be there forever. Once you have it, you can have a pleasant journey to anywhere in this samsara and to any level. So then how safe it is for you? So have it and take it. Take it to your blood. Take it to your blueprint. Wherever you born with this wisdom. Wherever you go with this wisdom. Then you will see how beautiful life is and how peaceful you are. You have no fear. Then forget about, it's nothing to do with that, that resistance or the guarding or saving, so looking to escape, you don't look for that. So that is what you need. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.